Hello students, thank you for coming back. Now we're doing some basic coding. In code mode, each arrow button you press represents a step in your code. Take a moment to look underneath your Botley right now and make sure that it's selected to code. That's in the very middle. When you transmit your code to Botley, he will execute all the steps in order. Execute means do. The lights on the top of Botley will light up at the beginning of each step. Botley will stop and make a sound when he completes the code. Remember, stop Botley from moving at any time by pressing the center button at the very top of his little head. Clear deletes all previous program steps. Remember, that's the garbage can looking button on the very bottom. Note that the remote programmer retains code even if Botley is turned off. What a cool feature. Press clear to start a new program. If you don't press clear, remember, it's just going to add any new commands onto the old string of commands that you did before. Botley will power down if left idle for 5 minutes. Press the center button on top of Botley to wake him up. So that also stops Botley sometimes, or it wakes him up. Let's start with a very simple program. Try this. Slide the power switch on the bottom of Botley to code. We have done that, but just check it one more time. Place Botley on the floor. We're going to do it on the table because we're being very careful with Botley. Press the forward arrow on the remote programmer. That is the green straight arrow. Point the remote programmer at Botley and press transmit. And Botley went forward about 8 inches. Remember, the directions are going to point to where Botley is looking with his little eyes. Let's look at those eyes again. Okay? So that's the front of Botley. Now, Botley lit up and then he moved about 8 inches. Let's try something else. Let's clear it so we can practice clearing, and that's that garbage can. And let's press Botley so he's facing our camera and students. And let's press the green arrow once. And let's press the red arrow, which means reverse or go backwards. And then let's press our transmit button. Very good. Now, if you remember, we press the forward, we press the red. If we don't clear it, whatever else we put in there is just going to add to that. So we're going to press the forward, and now he will be going forward, back, forward. Let's see if it worked. It did work. Now we press forward, back, forward. Let's make Botley move to the right 4 times, and we're not going to clear it. We're just going to add on to what we already coded. So he'll be going forward, back, forward, then he's going to go to the right, to the right, to the right, to the right. So did you see all we had to add was the right button 4 times. Now let's press transmit, and let's bring Botley back to the original spot. Now let's transmit. Very good. Now we're going to try a longer program. So students, now I'm going to try to explain to you how the coding cards work. We're not going to put anything into the transmitter yet. So the coding cards are going to tell you what to eventually put in the transmitter. But until you're learning how the directions work and how specific you need to be with Botley, we're going to run through this manually. So the first code card we have is a green forward arrow. So we're going to manually move our robot 8 inches forward. Then we're going to have a yellow left-hand turn. So all it does is rotate. It doesn't move forward, just rotates left. To go forward, then we're going to use a green arrow, 8 inches forward. We have another green arrow. Botley's going to go 8 inches forward. Then we have a blue right turn, and that only rotates Botley right. Then we're going to have another green arrow, which moves us 8 inches forward, and another green arrow that moves us 8 inches forward. Then we're going to have a yellow left turn. Then we have another yellow left turn. That makes us turn 180 degrees. So you have 2 left turns or 2 right turns that will turn your bot around. Then you have a green arrow that goes forward and another green arrow that goes forward, 8 inches. We have a yellow arrow that goes left and a green arrow that goes forward and a green arrow that goes forward, a yellow arrow that goes to the left, and then the reverse is going to take us 8 inches backwards. Okay, so now pick up your transmitters, your remote programmers, and now turn it towards yourself and program it in. I will call out the cards one at a time, but you can also read the cards as we go along. And I'm just going to say the color of the card. Green, yellow, green, green, blue. These are all our arrows. Green, green, yellow, yellow, green, green, yellow, green, green, yellow, and red for reverse. Everybody got that coded? Now we're going to hit the big green button on the top, which does not have an arrow on it, and we're going to see how we did. And go. Woohoo! Not too bad. And students, I also wanted to point out that we are using these cardboard blocks to kind of, so that you can see what we're doing a little easier. You don't have these in your kit, and that's okay. We're trying to do it to show you the directions a little bit easier. Okay, that was intense. That was the end of lesson 2, and we will see you back for lesson 3. Thanks for listening.